Welcome everybody, and welcome back to the Directly Indirect Show. And what would you do if somebody stabbed your girlfriend 14 times while your 5-year-old watched it? Man, rock with me. Welcome back, family. First of all, I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for taking time out of y'all day, time from your family, time from doing what you're doing to rock with the kid. It's much appreciated. But enough about me, man. This story hit home. This story hit hard. If you are a parent, the story is going to hit you regardless. You know what? I don't even want to say a whole lot more about it. Let's just check the video out and get back to it.
This morning, new details on the case of a pizza delivery turned into attempted murder. Investigators in Osceola County say this woman, 22-year-old Brianna Alvillo, was a delivery worker. She dropped off a pizza delivery at the Riviera Motel just off of 192 on Sunday, December 22nd. According to her arrest report, the victim was in town to celebrate her boyfriend's birthday along with her 5-year-old daughter. On the night of the crime, she had ordered food for a total of $33.10, giving Alvillo $2 as a tip. Investigators say the suspect did not like the amount she received. Later that night, investigators say Alvillo came back to the motel along with a man while both were wearing face masks. They forced their way into the room and attacked the victim. Investigators say Alvillo stabbed the pregnant woman 14 times, and all of that happened while the victim's 5-year-old daughter was watching. The pair then took off. According to the arrest report, investigators were able to trace the suspect's vehicle based on her files at the pizza place she was working for. Alvillo was arrested and now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder and kidnapping.
Man. Family, I get it. This is probably the most vile act of violence I've seen in a very long time. So that clip showed very little. I don't want to really show the news clips because it's just so much. And honestly, there's actual audio of the victim talking, and it's so violent. It's so vile. I don't even want to, man, y'all just go, it's on YouTube if y'all want to check out what she's saying, man. But I'm going to break it down as much as I can because I know y'all don't got a lot of time, man. That's why I want to kind of just tune y'all in. So basically, Brianna Alvillo was a delivery driver and a pizza delivery driver. So the victim ordered pizza at a hotel with her, her boyfriend and her daughter, and, just hanging out. So Brianna Alvillo comes to deliver the food. The victim states, and I quote, "The food came late. The food was cold." And Brianna seemed to be upset for some reason. She late with the food. She late with late coming. The food is cold, and she's upset, which to me is mind blowing. To me, that sets the tone as far as her mental state, as far as how things are going to reveal in the night later on that night. So the food came up to a few bucks. I think it was $33, I believe, $30 or whatever the case may be, right? And the victim only had a $50 bill. So Brianna takes the $50 bill and just walks off. And the victim's like, whoa, I need my change. And, her and Brianna kind of had a conversation. Brianna's like, well, we don't have change or something stupid she said. But anywho, the victim ended up giving Brianna $2, which in my eyes, the Brianna didn't even deserve the $2 because you got an attitude, the food cold, and you late. So in reality, the victim doing you a favor, giving you $2. So go on, take the money and get the hell out of here. But that's not what happens, unfortunately. So the victim is chilling with, her boyfriend and their 5-year-old. And in her mind, it's a great night. They're just enjoying each other's time. I believe it's the boyfriend's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. And they're just hanging out in a hotel. And there's a knock at the door. And the boyfriend was like, whoa, you just opening the door. And the victim, who's the female, goes, hey, she said she wasn't really thinking about it because, and I quote, I don't have any issues with anybody. You know, pretty much nobody wants to hurt me. Why can I not answer the door? It's a hotel. I'm sure it's just something simple. And but now to her, it's Brianna Alvelo, along with a masked man. So when the victim opened the door, they barges in. The male takes a gun and leads the boyfriend into the bathroom. And from what the victim said, the female victim said, the masked man was holding a gun to the boyfriend's head. At this point, the victim said she felt a punch in her back. So she turned around to see, hey, I'm going to defend myself. She's saying, hey, I'm going to, get this girl off me. And she turns around just to see blood falling on the floor. And she's like, okay, at this point, she's like, okay, I'm not punched, I'm stabbed. And so then at this point, Brianna's just going off, repeatedly stabbing her, repeatedly attacking her, just going crazy. I think, and I quote, the victim said, it was almost like she was in a rage, a frenzy. She snapped. She snapped. She kirked out. And family, let's not forget that all of this came from her getting a $2 tip. Her, Brianna, coming late with the food. Her, Brianna, coming with cold pizza. So everything in retrospect is her fault. But she's attacking the victim as if she was done wrong. Again, goes to show her mental state and her inability to process what's logical and what's real. Because at this point, you would have thought the victim had done something vile to Brianna. And they don't know each other. That's why it's so hard to fathom. Because to get attacked in such a vicious and vile and foul way, in such a horrific manner, you would have thought that, hey, there's some sort of bad blood, there's some sort of history. Nothing of the sorts. Brianna's just crazy. I mean, if you want to just make this bare bone and simple, Brianna is just crazy. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. And it gets worse, man. It gets worse. So the victim had over 200 staples. 200 staples, family, for cuts across her arm, wrist, shoulders, back, stomach, and breast. 14 in all. 14 cuts in all. And that's not including surgery for her knee and punctured lung. So Brianna went crazy, man. I mean, like a rabid dog almost. Not almost, like a rabid dog. Let's call a spade, family. Let's call a spade a spade. And you want to know what's going to top this story off to make it one of the worst stories ever? Ever. Especially one of the worst stories I've ever reported. When she was in the ER for her wounds from that vicious attack, the doctor finds out that the victim is pregnant. When I heard that part, man, the whole story is horrible, horrific, vile, sickening. And right when you think it can't get any more sickening, boom, you find out you're pregnant. It's insane. And I know this sounds like a barrage of bad news. That's more. The guy that came in with Brianna Alvelo, the guy that had the gun to the victim's boyfriend's head, he's still in the loose. So they're still looking for him. Definitely not good. And the victim is in the hospital. She doesn't know when she'll be able to go home, from what the sources say. But apparently, she's afraid to go home. And as she should be. This guy knows what she looks like. The world knows what she looks like at this point. So, of course, they will want to shut her up. So, hopefully, if she does go home, which I think she shouldn't go home, a safe house, if you will, and if she has to go home, there should be 24-hour patrol by her house. That's just my opinion. Because if not, as crazy as Brianna Alvelo was and the guy that came along with her, as crazy as they are, that guy's definitely coming back. I have no doubt in that. But the good thing is maybe they don't know where she live at because, again, they came to a hotel room, right? So that's some good in it as far as them not knowing where she live. But do you really want to trust that? I mean, if you've been stabbed 14 times, 200 staples, and you've had surgery on various parts of your body, the last thing I would want to do is go home knowing that somebody else is still out there that had a part in doing this to me. So I totally understand where she's coming from. It's totally justified. It all started off with some frivolous BS of her being a rude delivery driver, of her coming in upset with a visible attitude, and her receiving a $2 tip, which, again, she didn't even deserve the $2 tip, in my opinion. And she came back an hour and a half later, I believe, and went on this vicious attack. And it's probably one of the most vicious attacks of 2024, being that we only have a few days left in this year. Be safe out there, man. And that's not to take away from the victim because she just opened the door. There's no way of knowing that somebody wants to viciously attempt to unalive you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows that when they open the door. And like she said, she didn't have any enemies. Nobody wanted to hurt her. And even her boyfriend, like, nobody had enemies. So for this to happen is totally left field. Her boyfriend didn't have any enemies. Nobody had enemies. So for her to open the door, she just was being a good person. Because you never know what somebody's thinking. You never know what somebody's mind state is. You never know what somebody's mental state is. And I know my favorite words, be vigilant, be aware. And that's hard sometimes. I get it. It's super hard. I've got caught slipping. I have got caught lacking. And I'm the most vigilant person I know, but there are times where we all slip up. It's just who we are. We're human. We're not perfect. But I hope that Brianna Alvelo gets what she deserves. I hope she gets life in prison. I hope they find that guy that came with her and he gets life in prison. I hope they get the but wishful thinking, I'm sure. But all right, family, I'm going to let y'all go get on with y'all evening, man. Again, thank you for the subs. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you. And just keep being safe. I can't stress that enough. And I'm sorry if I keep saying that, but I really do want people to be safe because there are people out there like Brianna Alvelo who just don't care what she do, what she say. She just don't care about nothing. She don't care about life. Just keep being you. Keep being great. Keep being safe. All the haters, get them out your way. Listen, man, I love y'all, but nobody else do. And I'm out.